Ooh, big man ignoring the guy with the camera like he did at the bank. Are you guys okay? I'm doing a wellness check. Are you guys okay? Are you okay? Reekin? Reakin. I'm gonna pull those disciplinary rate. Yeah. Call for backup. Guy with the camera. Oh no. Oh no. Guy with the camera. Guy with the camera. Oh no. 60 frames per second, Reekin. 60 frames per second. Reeking. Because he's reeking with smell. Can't get this other guy's name. This is how we do it in Itasca, huh? We like to retaliate for having to work. You guys are great. Wait till I look you up on T-Call and pull your records. I'm gonna go ahead and get your disciplinary records. See how many times you've been accused of retaliating or violating somebody's rights. It's Reakin.
Itasca Police Department. How can I help you?
How you doing? I was just giving a call back again. This is JD with the National Media Organization. We're a watchdog group for First Amendment auditors, and I was just giving a call back. I hadn't heard back from the chief yet, but I was calling about in regards to that Officer Reakin, Reakin. And, everything I do is recording on the record, but it's not that. What's important here is that we find out exactly why Reakin was harassing a member of the press, and that's why I'd like to speak to Chief. I think you said his name was Richard. I never heard of Chief Richard, but I'd like to speak with him if I could, please.
So he's out patrolling. I did contact him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I gave him your contact information. At the time, he said there was no harassment. He just started receiving calls from concerned people in the community. All he was doing was checking out to see what was going on, but nobody was messed with at the time. It was just more of...
Well, the thing is when you got a police officer Reakin, Reakin, that's his name, Reakin. When you got a cop like that and he's following around a journalist as the journalist is doing his job, that's a chilling effect on First Amendment right, and that's intimidation. And that's what we do specifically, is we hunt down those police departments that violate our rights to try to chill our First Amendment right or try to impede on it.
Well, I can assure you that it wasn't to violate your rights or to harass your journalists. Like I said, small town.
Ma'am, no offense. Ma'am, I'll be respectful to you. I don't know yet. I got nothing against you.
I'm receiving the phone calls. I can't speak to that officer because he's my chief. So, and I'm in my office. So, and I go outside. So I sit in my office. I'm not outside watching nobody be recorded. I've already.
What's your name? I'm sorry. What's your name, ma'am? Are you a police officer? Can I get your name and badge number?
I'm not. I answer the phone.
Okay. But you can't speak for a police officer, man.
I can't speak directly for him, but I know my chief well enough to know that he wasn't harassing your guy. I've already talked to him. So at this point, you're calling me, and I'm sitting in my office, and I'm not...
Well, stalking is a form of harassment.
Concerned about...
Is the chief
you already
Reakin?
said Richard Eakin. So any concern you have, I can give you his email. You can email him.
Oh,
But I've had 3 or 4 people call me regarding this situation. It's out of my hands. I'm not concerned with it. Quite frankly, I don't care if the guy goes around and records what he records. But this is what I'm telling you. I've already spoke to him. There was no harassment. We've had people calling in my phone, and I'm trying to get other stuff done. And so they're asking what the deal is. And all he did was follow up on it to make sure everything was good, doing his job, not harassing your journalist. Your journalist wasn't harmed. He wasn't questioned. None of that.
Okay, so 1 second. Let me just get a few things clear here because we're the press, and so I got questions because I'm a member of the press. So is the chief's name Richard Eakin? And so was that the gentleman who was following around the journalist there?
I'm assuming so because, like I said, I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not outside.
Well, hell, no wonder he didn't call me back. He don't want to answer to the press for what he done.
He's
You
not
can't be
concerned about
following
answering to
journalists
the press.
around.
I'm not concerned about being answered.
Man, let me
I'm
Well,
talking
they
explain
something to
should
something to
you.
you.
be.
You've
Hold on, man.
explained something to me 3 times since you've been on this phone.
Listen, let's
So at this point,
de-escalate
you
here a little
They
harassing
should
bit,
me.
ma'am.
respect the
I'm
So
free
harassing
press.
you. You're a
okay,
government official. You
all
work
right.
in the government
I'm
capacity. I'm
admin
calling you
and
to
I'm
check
answering
on
the
you.
phone.
You've been just talking over me, and you won't let me say
No,
nothing.
you've
Come
said the
on
same.
now.
I have received 2 or 3
I have
calls.
not been mean to you.
Two or
I
three
have not
I
been
have
mean
not
to
calls.
been
you.
mean to you. I'm telling you
Okay.
already what Richard has already stated. And so
Okay.
at this
Well,
point, I'm going to give Richard your number so that you cannot call.
listen, I hope you do, but let
I'm
inform
going to do that
Richard of
right
one
now.
thing here.
I'm going to do it
When
right
he
now.
gets sued,
I'm going to do it
it'll
right
be
now.
me behind it doing it. I'm telling you
There,
that right
there's
now.
no
You
need
don't
for
follow
you to
around
get sued.
journalists. You understand that? You don't follow around journalists. You get me?
Well, let me put it this way. So
You
if
don't
somebody
follow
comes
around
through,
journalists,
someone comes
ma'am.
through town, if he's unaware that he's a journalist, as
I
a
don't
cop,
care. He's wearing a great big jersey on him. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
well, like I
As if we don't all have the right to free press in this country.
said,
Anybody
I'm
who
not
pulls out their
outside.
phone and starts
Okay,
filming the police
okay.
and their official capacity, why
Richard
are
is
you
about to,
sticking up for Richard so hard here? What's going
because
on
that's
over
my
there?
thing. Nothing's going on.
That's
But
not your
I can
chief,
rest
ma'am.
assured.
That
Because that's her blue line gang brother.
is a public servant. He ain't your chief. You
He's
work
the chief of
for the
police.
public.
He's the chief of
But it don't
police,
matter,
and
ma'am.
I
He
work
don't
and
got
I'm
no right
admin
to
for
be
my chief
stalking
of
down
police.
journalists.
All right, so he's gonna call you.
Ma'am,
He's
ma'am,
gonna call
anybody
you.
filming a police
He's
officer
gonna call
is
you.
working as a member of the. You
He's
understand
gonna
what I'm
call
saying to you,
you.
ma'am? He's
He's
not
gonna
your
call
chief,
you.
all right?
He's
That's
gonna
the
call you.
problem with government. Y'all are too close like that.
And
You
there's
ain't.
no y'all. There's no y'all. I grew up, born and raised here. I ain't no y'all.
There ain't no
Ain't no
y'all.
government,
You said
nothing.
he's your chief.
I'm
You said
I'm
that's my
because I
chief.
work for him. That is,
Did
and I
you see
back
the
him 100.
video? Have you
I
seen the
back
video of him?
I
Have you
back
seen the
him
video?
100. You know what? He gonna call you because you can call my
What's
phone
that?
one too many times. And if you don't
I called
want
you,
me to be
ma'am. This
rude
is
to
the
you,
second time I've
all
called,
right,
and my
you
calls
get
are
your number.
recorded. So
All right,
there's proof that I ain't
okay,
harassing nothing or
all
nobody. I'm
right.
just calling to make sure people understand that you
You have
will
a
be held
blessed day.
accountable.
You have
Richard
a
will
blessed
be held
day.
accountable if this continues again.
Have a
All
blessed
right?
day.
You
Your
too, ma'am.
journalist
You
is
have a
no
good
longer
day
here.
now.
Bye.
Well, ma'am, that's because
Put in the
Dear Chief Eakin, greetings. Hope you're doing well this fine day. I'm taking the time to write because I wanted to provide my valuable feedback regarding an interaction I observed when the video documentation of the incident was published today on April 13th on the BZ Watchdog News channel. It seems that a concerned citizen had called into the station while you were out patrolling a public photography in progress. I was really beyond concerned and quite troubled by the way in which the caller was treated. The young lady who was answering the phones acted as if she wasn't genuinely happy to serve the public. For example, when the caller attempted to make an inquiry about the status of their journalist, the lady became irritated and unhelpful. She then accused the caller of harassment. But I didn't know that calling in and asking questions constitutes the crime of harassment. It was very inappropriate and a hostile way to treat the public. Firstly, I'm concerned because it really showed poor communication skills on her behalf, and I would hope that we could have someone more adept to fill such an important role as answering the phones and communicating with the community. It should be someone with more patience and skill in that position. On the other hand, it deeply troubles me that she would view having to answer questions as harassment, and that she would say that to a member of the public is beyond the pale. It goes to show that she really isn't the right person for the job if she feels harassed by having to perform her official duty. She became irate with the caller just because she had received 2 or 3 calls and was very abrupt and impolite in the way she spoke to him. Perhaps it would be better to hire someone with a better temperament suited to the job of communicating with the public. I always thought that someone with that responsibility should remain professional. Otherwise, it is a bad representation of the city of Itasca and makes people unhappy. She was really unprofessional and kept talking over the caller and didn't know how to listen. It was really difficult to hear. I hope you take it seriously too, because it's a poor reflection on the training she has received under your leadership. Hope you can make some positive changes within the department that more accurately reflect the fine reputation of the city of Itasca and the high standards reflected therein. Thanks for your time today in reading this and for your dedication to community service. Your hard work is much appreciated. Sincerely,
What's the name of our guy?
Invalid.